everybody, Jeremiah Krakowski here. I wanted to go live just real quick and share with you something. I'm at this conference today, 818, the Sign Gathering, and I started to get like an idea of something I actually wanted to share with you guys. There's people watching this right now that you have vision, ideas, something that's in your heart that's been there for a long time, and you pushed it down because you felt like it's not the right time for you, or it's not the right place for you to do that thing, or people like you can't do it, or you tried and failed. And I want to encourage you of this: whatever those things are, pick them back up and start going again. Start going towards those things again. Start learning what are the missing pieces that when I tried that last time it didn't work. You know, I believe that what's inside of us it points to our destiny, our calling, those feelings, those desires. You know, if they're not selfish, not from a place of how can I just serve myself and get what I want out of it, it has to always be the ones that affect other people is what I'm talking about right here. The ones that affect other people, encouragement, being a teacher, maybe music, maybe it's, you have something on your heart, a message, but you don't know how to describe it, or you want to reach other people, you want to do something, whatever that is, something inside of you that impacts the world around you, not just yourself, points to a clue of what you were made for, your calling and your destiny. Now, I'm not going to say that that thing is exactly what your calling and destiny is. Many times it's not, but it leads you on what's called like a treasure hunt. So you take the first step, you look in that direction, you go forward, you move forward to that place. And that's one foot in front of the other, kind of like how I'm walking right now, back and forth behind this building here to do this, because it's a quiet place. There's a whole bunch of loud music inside, so. But putting one foot in front of the other will then lead you to where your next step is. And then when you get stuck, when your foot gets stuck, learn, discover, ask somebody who's already done it. Talk to people. That's why mentorship is so important. That's why what I'm doing here is to help mentor you. And if you have questions and you're trying to grow in your life or in your business, you have questions about how to get to the next level, leave me a comment, send me a DM. That's why I say to do that. Don't be afraid to do that. That's why we have the Grow Your Life community as well. I believe that those desires, those goals, those visions that are in your heart are not by mistake. They are not an accident. What are those things that you've suppressed? What are those things that you put down? Write them down, and then look at why you got stuck before, why you stopped, and ask, what do I need to do? What would need to happen for that to continue forward? And maybe it's an impossible thing. Maybe it's just, I just could never do that. Sometimes those visions are for you to find somebody that it is possible to do it and connect with them and even give them that vision, helping propel somebody that's already kind of done the groundwork forward, coming alongside somebody that's successful, being a word of wisdom to them to look in an area that they never thought possible. That's something that I like to do a lot, is to help people. That's something that I know is part of my calling, because whenever I do it, I feel the least stress and the most result and impact happens when I do that. It's finding people, they've built something, but they need to go to the next level, helping them do that, and that's what I love to do. But whatever your thing is that's inside of you, whatever goals you have, I don't want you to squash them, to kill them, just because somebody said something, just because somebody said you couldn't, just because a situation said that you couldn't, just because finances, whatever that is. I get it. All of those things are real, you guys. But where you are now is not where you're going to be a year from now, 5 years from now. You might not know who you meet. And so open up your mind, open up your heart. A lot of people say that they just don't want to get disappointed, so they shut off this hope, these dreams, and they shut it off because they don't want to feel disappointment. Disappointment's a lie. And if you're not doing something just to avoid disappointment, that's selfishness, that's pride, that's ego, that's saying that you just don't want to feel bad, so I'm going to do what's safe. That's a comfort zone. And so I want to encourage you, really, I need to press into that about disappointment, because a lot of people, they do not want to feel disappointment. Disappointment is a cousin to fear, worry, guilt, shame. These are all things that do not help us, do not serve us towards our goals, towards finding our calling and destiny. And a lot of people have killed their dreams or laid them down entirely. Now, laying down our dreams is something that we need to do when they are just self-serving. And when we can ask God, what would you have me do? Lay down your desires for the 10 times greater that God has. That's not what I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about is those things that you know that you're called to do, that you've laid down, that have an impact on the world around you. Pick them back up, write them down, journal. Just journaling is a activity that then takes it from a never happening, from a laid down dream, from something of sadness, into, you're pulling it into a dimension of reality by putting it on paper, and now it's in front of you, it's tangible, and you say, okay, you will start to make decisions, actions, your conversations will connect you, you'll meet people, you'll go places, you'll do things, your actions will follow that belief. And when you believe you can do something, you can go do it. When you believe it's impossible, it will never be possible. So I want to encourage you to increase your belief, to write down those things that you've laid down, and that I believe that there are people that are destined for greatness that have put down those desires and goals out of fear and worry and guilt, not because that was you know the difference when it's worry and fear and when it's like, I need to lay down my selfishness. Those are not the same thing. Trust me, if all I'm doing is just to go buy a Lamborghini, that's for selfishness. But if I want to build something to help impact people's lives, that changes the entire dynamic of every action and activity and decision I make. So grow your life, everybody. We'll talk soon. Have a good one.